Well, racing returns in the south to Ascot Park. It's an 11-race program. I'm joined by Justin Evans to run through the program. We'll get straight into it, Justin, with race number 1, which is a rating 45 to 46 race winners mobile to kickstart the day. I was keen on Dodge the Bullet, who's back in grade and back to a mobile, but there's been obviously a lot of talk about the likes of groomsmen as well. What did you like?
Tough race, Cookie. Very tough race. Gee, I wouldn't be surprised if half a dozen of these got home. I ended up with the same horse as you, Dodge the Bullet, Tony Stratford, Blair Orange. Good combination. But gee, he's been out of form for a long time. I think we have to go back to when Dexter Dunn was winning on this horse at Forbury Park a few years ago. So, look, just plumping for the fact that I'm sure Tony Stratford will have his team ready to go. I think he's good enough if he can find his best form here in the first, but really tough race. Number 11, I Want to Dance With Somebody, was okay at the trials last week, and is a horse who's been good enough to win at Addington. But yeah, tough way to start the day, I think, Marc, for the punters.
Interesting, Maddie's opted for I Want to Dance With Somebody for Hamish Hunter ahead of Groomsman there in race number 1. We'll read into that what you will. Race number 2, the rating 40 to 44, mobile over 2,200. I was keen on the likes of Raka Gem for Amber Hoffman. She's got a couple in the race. Marc Hurrell, I spoke to him, and he said Turai Caitlin might want to be driven differently to what the horse was last time, and KGVC's got the one as well. What about for you?
Gee, another tough race. We're not kicking off with some easy races here for the punters. Kick it off the early quaddie. Look, I found one for value, though, number 11, Jabali, who hasn't raced for a year. He's a 9-year-old, but he's a pretty tough sort of pacer. He's actually pretty good at the trials last week. Key trial day for all the form going into this meeting. There was a good bunch of horses going around there, and that's really key if you can jump on HRNZ to check them out. Jabali was okay. He sat parked in a strong run race, and I thought he stuck it out pretty well. And of course, young Tristan Larson looking for his first win, so he may get a chance here with Jabali at a bit of value in race 2.
He's got a good book tomorrow with a few for Dad and Jabali. Speaking of trial performers, there's one coming up in race number 3, the non-winners trot. It's a debutante called Madrick, who won by 2.5 lengths at the trials last week.
Yeah, it wasn't the first time he trialled well. He'd been pretty good at a few other workouts and trials as well. He actually beat a horse called Afterburner, who's got a big rap on him, came out and won on debut. Actually ran second, I think, to Afterburner, but his trial form lines are very good. Led all the way last week, straight to the front, did everything right, jogged home. Obviously, a little bit of caution around the old square gate his first up, but he looks smart, and I'd imagine the Barclay Alice team will be ready to go with all that beach work. Thought he was one of the best of the day. Fingers crossed he does things right. He's been pretty soundproof at the trials. Very keen on Madrick to win the third.
Brick Race Trotter was in that trial as well in the groove, and it has had some race day experience. Same with the Power Broker 2 in that third of the day. Let's turn the page to race number 4, and this one, the non-winners mobile, maidens rating 40 to 47. The likes of Racing Ministers got the blinds off, trial behind Longyval last week. You've got the likes of Delight in Gold, who is a former Earl Swain horse who's now with Nathan Williamson. And over the other side of the page, Honour Before Glory won by 5 lengths at the trials last week for the Barclay Gray combo.
Yeah, a few chances for sure. Number 2, I've ended up with a smidgen more, who put a couple of good seconds together here earlier in the year. Ran in a pretty deep field last start. She wasn't bad. She actually trialled last week. She was unplaced, but it's a bit of a soft trial. Got back, warmed up nicely late. It's the good draw here. Matthew Williamson. Thought she was a chance, a smidgen more. But like you say, you've mentioned a couple of other hopes there. Delight in Gold, who's a really interesting runner, has been trying for a lifetime, 51 starts, but now with Nathan Williamson, as you say, going on those trials last week, I think Nathan Williamson's team ready to rock and roll. G charged through the line, Delight in Gold. Here's a horse who has looked like he'll win a race at some stage. So, yeah, I think he's a good chance. One for a bit of value might be number 10, Arco. A couple of decent efforts first prep, fully with upside with Clark Barron, and she might be a roughie there, but we'll go with a smidgen more off the good game.
Let's go to race number 5 on the program, and Matthew Williamson's labelled his best chance of the afternoon in Wolf West, who had to loop the field at Wingatui on the grass and got within a half length of the winner and has trialled nicely since. So I'm keen on that one. There's the likes of Delight, Blair Orange, Tony Stratford, who's had recent form prior to the lockdown as well, and the likes of Duke of Dundee, who was good when the horse was younger, 4-year-old now, who's had 22 races, and it comes off the second row.
Yeah, look, I've found a bit of value in a couple actually for value here, but 6 Airwaves is my value of the day. A horse who probably has been unlucky not to have won more than the one race. He's been a bit of a black booker from time to time. Craig Lawrenson, of course, last time we were racing down here on the grass at Wingatui, he picked up a double. This horse has got ability, and I think he's an each way chance at some value. Also, number 5, I think, is a key runner here, Ideal Glacier. I know he's got 2 duck eggs next to his name. He's a horse with ability, trialled really well last week, rounded them up in a strongly run trial, and he's a horse of talent. So both there at value for mine, Airwaves and Ideal Glacier in race 5.
Race number 6 on the card. This one's a rating 40 to 52. You've got the likes of Tolkien, who was disqualified last time to the races, did things wrong in the very closing stages, has been to the trials since behind Ridgemont Millie. The others, Spotlight the Valley is a good trotter, been going around well. Matai Jetstar's a perennial place getter lately. A few chances here. What about for you?
Look, I'm going with a mare who's been in the black book a few times. Sunnyview Filaire, number 11, called her a few times earlier in the year on the grass at Oamaru. Gee, she was unlucky more than once. She's a mare who I think should be in for a good prep. She's got the ability to win a few of these sort of races, and I'm plumping for her. Sunnyview Filaire. Tolkien's certainly a horse with always had the talent. Still a bit of a work in progress. Another chance here for Tristan Larson. Trialled okay there last week. And the other one of note there, Ridgemont Millie, number 13. Form looks poor. She can do a lot wrong. She's a bit erratic, but gee, she trialled well last week. Got home really strongly, and she can easily take this. But yeah, we'll go Sunnyview Filaire. Hopefully a change of luck for her.
Let's go to race number 7 of the afternoon, the 51 to 53s and 54 with conditions. You've got the likes of Chuckles, who was very good last time to the races. In fact, previous prep. Chuckles. It's back in grade for the Barclay Ellis combination. I'm keen on one of Michael House's. He's brought down. He's travelled a team to Invercargill. Might be something going forward, I'm sure, for his stable. Ahoka Bandit was performing pretty well up on the CD, and Blair Orange takes the drive.
Yeah, great to see Michael House with a big team at Invercargill, and no doubt he'll have good numbers across the country. Look, I'm with Chuckles. It won't be easy for him. He's got the wide draw on the second line there, but I think he's the best horse in the race. He delivered some absolute bottlers in that last prep of his. I think he's the best horse. I think he'll be forward enough. He hasn't trialled, but as we said earlier, I think the Barclay Ellis team will be ready to go. He's the one on ability. 3 Ivana Legacy is a mare who can follow speed really well. She gets home really well, and she trialled nicely last week. I like her as well. But yeah, Chuckles, I think, is the one in race 7.
I like Longyval in race number 8. It's got race day experience in a race with quite a number of debutants.
Good races. Looking forward to calling this. It's a pretty deep maiden, and one that I think half a dozen could easily be winning in the next few starts. A lot of talent here, a lot of debutants, as you say. With 16, Jawbreaker, he might just be the best of them possibly. He's a horse who trialled very well earlier in his career. He's raced some very good fields, and he's got some smart form lines. Look, he's going to need to be pretty good to win on this outside of the second line in a pretty deep field, but I think he's got the talent. Longyval, though, as you say, trialled really well, looked good in his first prep and some good, strong maidens. He will be right in it. And American Airtime, who's with Brett Gray now, was with Terry Schmiel, ran a couple of really good races in her first prep and again trialled well last week. A few first starters in there. Who's Smoking has trialled well. Flossie has trialled well. Deep race. We'll go Jawbreaker, but 4 or 5 to be winning this.
Race number 9 on the card. She's a Sport. Mark Hurrell's labelled that his best drive of the day. It's got a good draw. For Sure is the full brother to Field Marshal, so the breeding is behind him, and he picked up a win prior to lockdown. And Tealor Toll performed well in the spring before the combination with the 4th in the south of the Waitaki. It's fresh up since then.
Another good race, Cookie. Best of the day, though, for me, Pearl Harbour, number 4, who's a very talented filly, of course, kicked off her career campaigning for Barry Purdon. You may remember winning, I think she won her debut. I think she beat Dr. Susan on debut and was competed against some of the best of her age group last year. Back now with the Price team. Gee, her trial was good last week. She sat back last, rounded them up. I think she went 56.7 on a day. They weren't running great time. She was very impressive. I think she's got too much pace, and I think she's the best of the day. And saying that, Taylor Toll's a good horse. He's a good horse who will be winning races. He's obviously a big danger. I thought they were easily the 2. Pearl Harbour, though, happy to make her the best.
Race number 10, Brad Williamson's rated Ridgemont Sun, his best off 15 metres. Full Noise has got the blinds on, the highest assessed, off 25 in the higher graded trot.
Yeah, I think they are the two clearly. I think it's a bit of a two-horse race, to be honest. And for me, it's probably flip of the coin. We'll just go full noise. I know he's come up short a few times, but he's raced good fields. He's been really good. I think he can win. Ridgemont Sun's obviously a talented horse. He won on Cup Day last year at Addington, trialled well. Obviously hard to beat. A little between them. We'll go full noise to beat Ridgemont Sun. Crusher Collins has a chance in that race as well. Blair Orange hops on. It was pretty good last start, but yeah, I think full noise and Ridgemont Sun top two.
Race number 11, Stingray Tara's got barrier number 1, but there are a few threats of wider draws, better than Breeze off the 5. It's fresh up. It picked up a win at Northern Southland in January, and Not a Bene Denario was racing well too prior to lockdown.
Yeah, good way to finish the day, isn't it? Number of chances here, wide open. Struggled to sort of pick one on top here. We'll go with Delightful Deal, who I know Nathan Williamson was quoted recently saying she's pretty forward. She's expected to do a good job this prep. She wasn't too far away last prep. She trialled well last week. I think she's a really good chance in a race with a number of chances. Not a Bene Denario always seems to come up short. He gets not all the luck in the world, this horse, but he can produce a sectional. I'm sure he'll be in the mix again. One for value, maybe number 10, Darchi, who is a little hard to follow, but she's a mare with ability, but a number of chances. Obviously, Stingray Tara off the inside, a good chance. But Delightful Deal, I think, is a rock-solid each-way chance. And as we say, Nathan Williamson's team looks ready to rock and roll here early post-lockdown.
That's a look at the 11-race program. Happy punting as we kick off harness racing in Southland.